It's another edition of Wonderkids here on the channel, and we're looking today at players with a reasonably okay potential. They're probably not Wonderkids actually to begin with, because their current ability won't be high enough to be considered a Wonderkid as such, but their potential ability is in within a dynamic range or a fixed range. Not fixed isn't even a range. Fixed potential or dynamic range where they could be pretty good, and you can sign all of these players at the start for less than £1 million. All their values are less than 1 million. So these are bargains. These are very accessible players for certainly the second tier of most leagues. Certainly the championship. Most teams will have a decent enough budget that you've got 3 or 4 million. You could probably get 4 or 5 of these players. So certainly worth looking into. And with some of these potential abilities, you could actually certainly cash in when you get promoted when they're not quite good enough for the Premier League. So that could really set you up to then go and buy some of those better players that we've mentioned in previous videos. So go and watch those after you've watched this one, especially if you're managing in the lower leagues. Wonderkids, under £1 million. Let's go. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with this list. And first off, we're looking at Jaime Barroso at Real Madrid under 19s. Now, okay, I've got it here, classed as 60 to 170k on my list. It says here 2.3 to 4.3 million. That's a terrible start. And he's got 5 pace and acceleration as a striker. This guy's rubbish. He's got okay other attributes. What's his potential ability then? He's got a 140 to 170 dynamic range, and his potential ability here is 151. Starts off at 86 current ability. So yeah, 2.3 to 4.3 million. Not the best start. Apologies. These values will vary from save game to save game, especially with some of the dynamic potential. So maybe when I set the database up downstairs when I was making my list, it probably was, well, it was 60 to 170k. Therefore, when I've come up here and set up a new database to sim, yeah, it's different. But, you know, okay. Next is Salas. Okay, this has gone terribly. 6.4 to 9.2 million. His dynamic range is 130 to 160. Potential ability is 145. Okay, he starts off at 102. Elyaz, 1.3 to 2.6 million. So I've just looked at a couple of those players on the shortlist, and we will touch on them as well. But as you can see, there's such a varied range here. So we've got Dro at Barcelona here, 100k to 1 million. His potential ability is 179. That can't be right. Yeah, they're happy for 100k to 100k to £1 million. So this guy didn't even make it on my list, and because obviously he would have been higher. But 179 potential ability. That's insane. We'll come back to this in a second, and we'll look at a couple of these other players. I'll make the note of them as we go. Next in the list was Elyaz, and he's 1.3 to 2.6 million. So yeah, this is under £1 million mark. Is a little bit variable here, as you can see. Now he's got a potential ability of 120 to 150, so he is pretty much on the lower end of things. His potential ability here is 140, so the RNG's been quite kind to him there. Next, Amara Diouf, finally, 40k to 375k, playing for Generation Foot. He is wanted by Watford. There you go. He's got 20 determination. He is a winger with, reasonably well-rounded attributes to begin with. He starts off with the potential ability range of 140 to 170. And as you can see here, 165 is his potential ability. A hell of a find. Starts off at 92. Yes, that's not championship quality. That's not even really League One quality. But yeah, for £300,000, I mean, you might struggle to get a work permit for him. He has got 2 caps for Senegal. He has 16 flair as well. He's a very good player, Amara Diouf. So bargain, go and get him. The minimum he's going to get to is 140, and you'll be able to sell him for a reasonably good amount of money. So the first one on the list, the 5th player I've showed you. We will do 10. We will do 10. This is just how variable these values can be. So please do take some of these with a pinch of salt. But even still, like we've just looked at DJ Esdaille. So we've just looked here at Elyaz. When we're just looking here at Elyaz, I mean, 1.3 to 2.6 million. Yes, okay, it is above the £1 million mark as advertised, but he is still looking all right. And yeah, still pretty accessible. Next up, we've got DJ Esdaille. He plays for Liverpool, and he's a 16k to 160k, a right back. Very poor to begin with. 70 current ability. Potential ability of 136. His range is 120 to 150, so he's come down slap bang in the middle there. So he could be a lot worse or could be a lot better, depending on your save. And with his current ability being at 70, he has got a good way to go to actually get there. He would improve massively in value, but it would take a hell of a lot of nurturing to actually get him there. And it might... Where would you even get him? I mean, you could certainly get him in on loan. You could certainly get him in on loan early doors. Would Liverpool want to keep him? his contract's up at the end of the season. You could get him in on loan, and maybe he might not renew his contract, and you could give him Snaffling for free. So if you play him enough as well, and he gets happy at your club, could be an avenue you go down. We've just looked at Amara Diouf, haven't we? Next, we've got Harvey Higgins, who is a youngster at Blackburn, a striker with pretty good pace and acceleration, 6'2", 12 jumping reach, only 8 finishing as a striker, but good determination, and 12 jumping reach at 6'2". He is only 16 years old, already only playing for Blackburn as well, so they are in the Championship. So he's probably quite accessible for a team in League One, maybe even League Two. 180k to 500k, depends what the budgets are at those leagues, but certainly someone to keep an eye on. He's got a couple of years on his contract. He is actually only on a youth deal at the moment. You'd approach to sign him and just pay compensation. Would he be interested? Remains to be seen. Next up, a goalkeeper, Fran Gonzalez at Real Madrid B, 20 years old, 6'6", 18 aerial reach, 19 jumping reach. Already looking pretty promising. 35 to 325k. Fran only has a variable range of 120 to 150. Now he's going to hit 140 here is his potential ability. He starts off at 102. If you're unlucky, it could just be down at 120 and he won't have too much room for growth. But he's certainly good enough to be a backup goalkeeper, in my opinion. At 6'6", he's got two very key attributes, in my opinion, for being a goalkeeper: aerial reach and jumping reach. And he's not too bad in terms of the goalkeeping attributes over here. He's all right, you know. I mean, handling and one-on-ones, you do want to be a little bit better than 10, but like I say, he's got room to grow. So if you can get them up to 12, 13, 14, terrible goalkeeper. You could certainly keep him for years to come as a backup and maybe sell him on for a little bit of a profit later down the line. Staying with Real Madrid, and we're going for a defensive midfielder this time. It's Bruno Galassi, 18 years young, Spanish, 65 to 650k. Pretty well-rounded. A bit slow for my liking, but very good mentals. Very good mentals for an 18-year-old. Again, he has a variable range of 120 to 150, so we are on the lower end of those kind of things, but he only starts off at 81, so he's got plenty of room for growth. In this save game, he's going to get to 137, so we'll see if he gets there. Let's hope he does. Again, he's only got a year left on his deal, so loan, they don't renew, maybe, you know, there's options. There's options available to you there. And for me, he's certainly good enough to be a sub and a backup to your defensive midfielder in the Championship. If you're playing two defensive midfielders as well, you know, he's got some good basic attributes here. Good basic attributes to sort of work with. You know, the biggest kicker here is his pace. But if you have him just sitting holding as a defensive midfielder, does he need that much pace? Yeah, he does need a bit more, but look, these are bargains. You can't have everything in this video. You're gonna have to be making allowances somewhere, and in this one for Bruno Galassi, you're making allowances for pace because he's got very good mentals. Calvin Ramsey at Liverpool, a right back. Now this guy, 100k to £1 million. He's already wanted by Swansea on loan at the start of this one. Excellent foundation here. 21 years old, so he's already getting through the years where his peak growth is. He has got a fixed potential ability of 145 though, so you know what you're getting with this guy. Starts off at 109, so he's got quite a few attribute points to work with, 36 to be precise. You could get him for 500k. He would get there, and he'd be a very good right back for you, helping you get yourself into the Premier League. And even probably do a job in the Premier League for a couple of seasons. And you could probably sell him for 40, 50 million pounds when he's going to hit that potential quite easily at 145. Certainly 30 million. So, yeah, Calvin Ramsey, Liverpool. Great acquisition. And we're back again at Real Madrid. It's Manuel, 35 to 350k. He has also got some reasonably good attributes here as a central midfielder. Can play a bit as a cam as well. And also play on the left. So, I mean, with crossing and dribbling, it's quite good. Maybe you could retrain him there to play there, to be a bit of a versatile merchant. Work rate's a bit to be desired. He's quite determined though, with 14 determination. That's not too bad. Not bad in other areas either. A little bit lacking in the strength and the jumping reach, but as I say, you can't have everything. He has also got a 145 fixed potential ability. Starts off at 105, so again, pretty much a bargain here at this price. If you could get him in and nurture him to get him to that potential, you will be able to make a pretty decent profit down the line. So there is some good bargains here. We have been done dirty from the list that I made by some of the variable transfer values. So we will go and, how many was the 1, 2, 3? 3 over the £1 million mark. So let's go and have a look at 3 others on the player database. So we looked at Dro, didn't we? Pedro Fernandez Sarmiento. So here he is, Pedro Fernandez Sarmiento. And if we look at his potential ability, he's got a 150 to 180 potential ability range. So hitting 179 here, he has been absolutely blessed by the RNG, but the value is not showcasing too high. So we've asked the agent, so you could go and get him for a pretty decent price. Maybe he'd come. Next up, we're going to look at Roy Torres for Intercity. A right back looking quite decent, 65 to 650k. Potential ability of 157, current ability of 83. Now he has a 130 to 160 potential ability range. So again, much like quite a few of them on this list, on the sort of lower end, and he's been quite blessed here with a 157 potential ability, as mentioned. 160 would be the max, but he is still worth only 65 to 650k. And even if he wasn't at 157, he was down at like the 130 mark. Still got plenty of room for growth, and he's still pretty cheap. So again, would he be worth a gamble? I think so. He's not got bad pace, good determination, good tackling, good crossing. Certainly for a player with this level. 19. A player we looked at last time, Tyler Tingey, because he was done dirty with the value here, wasn't he? It was 190 to 1.9 million in the previous video on my list. So worked both ways, hasn't it? It's worked both ways. We'll go with David Bausch with Bayern Munich striker, reasonably well rounded, a little bit slow, 140 to 400k. Again, he's got a variable range. His current ability is 53, potential ability is 157, so he's got over 100 to go here. I'm sure it'll be a 130 to 160 range. There's no way it's a 140 to 170, but we'll check him. Oh, recommended current ability 0, potential ability 0. Okay, unsure what is going on there, so we'll move on. We'll do somebody else. We'll look at the Japanese youngster Kenshin Yasuda, on loan from Oita to Genk at 70k to 700k. Central midfielder, looks all right, to be honest. And again, he's got a 130 to 160 variable range. Again, he was doing quite. He was kind of blessed here with the 156. But that's what you're going to get. You're going to get some players that are blessed and some players that are you feel a little bit aggrieved by their potential ability. But still got plenty of room for growth. And again, as I said plenty of times in this video, bargain. Will easily be able to flip him for a profit if you manage to nurture him a little bit. He's 20 though, so is he going to be able to hit that potential? Remains to be seen. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to simulate forward those 9 years, go to the next save game, and we're going to check in on all of them and see how they've all got on. We will check in on the players that did have the value quite higher, because if in your save game, they might be lower, like I said before, like they were in my initial list. So they're certainly worth popping on the short list. Okay, so we're going to start off with Jaime Barroso, who's at Hertha Berlin, and well, he looks all right, doesn't he? He's still a bit slow. He's only worth 9 to 10.5 million pounds at 26. He's never been capped for Spain, but he's got good mentals and not bad technicals, certainly for a striker. Now, he did not play at Real Madrid, and that's been part of the problem. He went to Braunschweig on a free, got 9 in 34, and then he's gone to Hertha BSC for 1.6 million pounds. He's not hit his potential ability, and again, this is all because Real Madrid didn't play him. If Real Madrid had played him, he'd have had a lot better time. Jan Salas, not done much either. He's not worth a lot either. He's worth less than he was to begin with. 145 potential ability, current ability 101. He's pretty awful, isn't he? Jan Salas has not made it. Next up, Elyaz, the centre back. He's at Coruña, 3.7 to 6.6 million pounds. Again, is he going to have made it? 140 is potential ability here. Only at 119. Unfortunately, these players are not making it, so we're not seeing the full effect of what these players can actually become. That's because they're not getting the game time early doors. They're not being harnessed properly by the AI. Can't even find DJ Esdaille. So he might have retired. Amara Diouf. He's at Bergamo, which is Atalanta, I think. Okay. Yes. 20 agility, 16 acceleration, great anticipation, crossing, dribbling, 20 determination, 79 to 112 million pounds, 16 technique, off the ball 16, vision 17. This guy has certainly made it. He's at 165. How much did he cost? £275,000. And they took a few years to really get him going. He really did take a few years to get him going. But once he started to get going, oh boy, did he get going. The first success of this list. Harvey Higgins, he's at Sheffield United now. He seems to have done the rounds here. He moved from Blackburn to Norwich for £13.25 million in 2030. He was actually doing all right for Blackburn. Didn't do much for Norwich, and he's moved to Sheffield United for £4.5 million. So he started off well, and he seems to have fell off. His physicals are great. He's 6'3". His heading's up at 14 now. 17 jumping reach, good pace, good acceleration. Still hasn't hit his potential of 142. He's at 134. He's 25 years old. He will still get there. Worth 20 to 24 million pounds. At the start, when we were looking on the list here, it says 230 to 650k. I can't remember what it said on this database. It was probably in that sort of ballpark. He definitely was under $1 million, wasn't he? So good profit. Looks decent. Good for a backup striker in the Championship. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fran Gonzalez, as we said, 18 jumping reach, 19 aerial reach, 6'6". He looks half decent. 30 to 300k. He's not really done much. He's at Cagliari as a backup goalkeeper. He's basically spent his entire career in the Real Madrid reserves, D&B team, and then he's gone to Cagliari on a free, and he's basically sat on the bench there. 3 appearances in this season due to an injury, almost certainly. Come off the bench once and then played 2 games. Has he made his potential? Of course he hasn't. He's not played. Next up is Bruno Galassi, and he's at Las Palmas. Now, he's worth 150k to 1.5 million pounds, so it leads me to believe that he's not really done too much either. Yeah, he left for free to go to Yelcano, and then went to Las Palmas for 275k, where he's just been a bit of a bit part player, not really done much. Which is a shame, because he has got plenty of room for growth, and he did have a decent foundation of attributes. So, once again, another wasted talent, unfortunately. Maybe I need to try and sort of harness these to try and actually get them to their potential in some sort of video to just showcase how good they can be, because Amara Diouf looked amazing, didn't he? Ramsey, he's at Hibernian, and that does not bode well. I mean, 100k to £1 million to begin with. He's 30. Now he's at 6.6 to 9.6 million pounds. He moved to Hibernian for free from Liverpool quite a few seasons ago. Had quite a few loan moves. Didn't really play much when he was on loan in places. And he's now been playing quite consistently in the Scottish League. 145 was his fixed potential. He's only at 124. He's 30. He's never getting any better. He's probably already on the decline, to be perfectly honest. And playing in the Scottish League, no offence to the Scottish League, but it is not going to be the level of competition that he needs to really sort of harness that potential and accelerate through the gears. Manuel, a free agent, no club, looks horrific. Oh dear. Still only at 83. Potential of 109. Oh, this is the wrong one. 145 was the Manuel Angel. This took about right, 26. That's the same guy. I think he's gone. Manuel Angel's gone. Can't find him. Okay, so he retired. Should we have a look at Dro? Oh, how are we going to find this guy? He had 179 potential, didn't he? There he is. Playing for AS Roma. £72 million. He's listed. They don't want him. He looks great. He's at 178, 179, and he's transferred for £72 million at 26 years old. He'd be a steal. He would literally be a steal. He got loaned to Newcastle. They didn't want to keep him. £47.5 million they paid Coruña for him. Coruña got him for free from Barcelona in 27-28. We start 25, so 25-26. 26-27, but 2 years at Barcelona and Barcelona B. A couple 5 substitute appearances for the first team. 100k to £1 million. This guy, he's definitely worth a gamble if you can get him for that cheap. Really is. He really is. Look at how good he is. Wow. Roy Torres. I've got no words. What a come down from Dro. Nowhere near his potential ability of 157. He looks crap. He's worth nothing. He's done nothing in his career. Disappointing. And finally, Henshin Yasuda, playing for Borussia Mönchengladbach, moved for £3.6 million. Moved for free as well to Hiroshima. So he's not done loads, but he's now worth 12.5 to 15.5 million pounds at 29 years old. And for me, he looks really good. He's at 149 out of 156. Now, at this age, if you were coming up into the Premier League, he would be an absolute bargain. You had about 40 million pounds to spend. You could probably put 7 down and pay another 7 in instalments. Get him, and he'd be a good right back for 2 or 3 years. He'd do a great job for you. I don't know why I'm saying right back. He's a central midfielder. He would be a good central midfielder for 2 or 3 years. Why did I say right back? Get your bingo cards out, ladies and gentlemen. I am tired. Not only did the little lad get up for 2 hours in the middle of the night, he missed his nap yesterday because we couldn't get him down for a nap. We thought that might lead him into the evening and get him down to sleep. He did sleep reasonably well to begin with, woke up for 2 hours, and it was murder. Then, go back upstairs. The missus thought at least she's getting a little bit of sleep. No, she's been up for 2 hours with the daughter who's been whinging, and she didn't want to come past. She wasn't hungry or anything. She changed her a couple of times. She was just giving her a soothe. So I took the daughter after the little son went to bed and said, you get back to bed for a bit. I'll get up. So yeah, very tired. You didn't think you can get through a full video without me whinging about how tired I am, did you? There you go. So that is the end of this Bargain Wonderkid video. And a few absolute diamonds that we've just seen there. They might not all grow to that level because of the dynamic potential, but some of them will grow better than what we've seen because their dynamic potential will be higher and you can harness them better than the AI. You can make sure they get that game time. You can bring them into the first team and you can really think, you can go, oh, we can afford to sort of play a young player here, or we've got a couple of injuries. Let's give him a game. Let's give him a start. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to play him every game. 10, 15 games a season. Certainly if you've got some cup competitions, and especially if you're getting into things like the Europa Conference League, you can get 2 or 3 games as a bit of a freebie there. So certainly worth it. Anyway, that'll do. That's the end of today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Take good care of yourselves. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments down below any other videos like this that you might want to see. Wonderkid variations. We're going to do Model Citizens, and we're also going to do some stuff on the women's side of the game as well. So I hope that will be of interest to plenty of you. And yeah, if you've signed any of these players, do let me know how they got on, who you were, how much you paid for them, and yeah, if it's helped you out in your save games, because I certainly hope it has. Go and follow me on Twitch as well, because this video won't come out until well after, but tomorrow we've got a title running with Spurs. We're United, against Spurs. We're 2 points off the pace, 7 games left. We've been top all season as well. We've been throwing it away in the last couple of weeks. So I say last couple of weeks. Last stream, we were undefeated at the start of last stream. End of the stream, 4 defeats. Oh yeah, go and follow on Twitch. Come and join over there. Yeah, take good care of yourselves, everyone. See you soon.